What's going on, winners? Your boy Loso2.0, and today we're going to take some leadership takeaways from Genesis 19 in the chat and the Bible. Now, before I get started with that, click the subscribe button below. So, why should you listen to me? See, listen, growing up, right, I had a lot of things going on at home. A lot of things pushing me in the wrong direction. And with all this going on, it was hard for me to focus on school and be engaged in school, but also engaged in the community. So I do a lot of times, that's why my speeches are tailored around me teaching, people how to be more engaged in their community, engaged in their school through leadership tactics. So that's what you're going to get from this YouTube channel. See, I had to turn to the Bible. I turned to the Bible and I really got locked into the Bible. I was still a little bit off my path though. Figured I knew everything, this, and third, but got away from it, started to get back into it. So now I teach the leadership tips that I'm learning from the Bible to you so that you can apply it to your life and become a better leader, become more involved in your community, become more involved in whatever your community is, right? So with that being said, let's get with Genesis 19, right? So first, two angels, they show up in Sodom and are welcomed by Lot, who insists on hosting them in his house. Two angels pop up into the city, to the biddy. Sodom, if you don't know anything about that, Sodom is a place of sin, pretty much like a big city of sin. And Lot pretty much tells him, you'll come in the crib, tries to host them as guests. The men of Sodom figure this out. They surround the crib, demanding the visitors be brought out so they can abuse them. They want to come out, they want to beat them up, they want to jump them, whatever it is, right? Lot pleads with them, even offering his daughters, but they refuse. They're like, yo, please, listen, take my daughters, whatever. And they're like, nah, forget that. We want them, bring them out, we out here. The angels strike men with blindness, make everybody blind over there, and warn Lot to gather his family and flee because the city will be destroyed. He says, listen, we're going to blow this city up, but we mess with you, so we're going to tell you, Lot, that you can get out of here with your family, but you got to leave right now. Lot hesitates, though, but the angels pull him with his wife and two daughters out, urging him not to look back. Yo, we're taking you guys out. You're hesitating, but even if you're hesitating, which we should have immediate obedience, we should not be hesitant on the obedience of God's word, but they were hesitant, and he was like, you know what? No, we're pulling you guys out regardless. So God rains down fire and sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah and destroys both cities. So he basically lets all double hockey sticks, breaks loose, takes down Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, Lot's wife, she decides that she wants to look back. And when she does, she turns into a pillar of salt, disappears. Again, God told her not to look back. The angels told her not to look back. And he meant that literally, and she still looked back. Lot and his daughters flee to the mountains. Later, his daughters, thinking that there are no men left because the two cities were destroyed, left to continue the family line. They get Lot drunk, sleep with him, and they give the birth to Moab and Ammon. So they get him drunk, take advantage of him, have sex with their father, and then get them drunk. Okay, now leadership takeaways, we get this. All right, boom. So there's going to be 6 leadership takeaways that you're going to get from this chapter. 1, hospitality as leadership. See, leaders must protect and serve those entrusted with them, even under hostile circumstances. So a lot of times, even in my job, my CEO, the CEO of the company will come down on me, tell me, yo, listen, this and the third, da, da, da. You have to filter that message down to them, right? Now, I'm not saying you got to sit here and curse everybody out, stuff like that all the single time, but you got to filter that message out to figure out what I had to filter it out in order to basically kind of keep them understanding of how my style is, right? Now, I'm not saying, sometimes I do have to just give it to them straight. Yo, this is not, you can't do this, unacceptable. But a lot of times I filter it out to the way that my leadership style is. So I'm not just going to straight just go at them. It might be a hostile time. It might be a time right now where we're not doing good, but I still have to find a way to protect them and for them to understand this, right? Decisiveness matters. See, Lot lingered when he had to leave. Remember, he hesitated after the angels told him that. Hesitation can cost lives, businesses, and opportunities. Leaders must act quickly when danger is clear. Yo, soon as my CEO tells me that you need to get something done, immediately I just knock it out, right? Immediately. Soon as my team members say, yo, I need help with something, immediately I knock it out because I know I might forget it. Or I tell them to email me because I know it's going to be stuck in my email, which I'll never delete or anything like that. So literally, You have to be decisive. As soon as something needs to get done, just get it done. Especially if it's going to take you a quick second, just get it done. That way you don't have to worry about it. That's what's going to stop me from doing it. It's like even my routine. Right now, routine, I got all these things down. It's like, all right, boom. At first, in the beginning of my routine, I got all the things that are quick. I knocked them out quick, got them all in the beginning. Then like the super quick things. Then I got like the hardest things, probably like second, because or like number two, because I know reading and working out to me, like they physically take me to do something, like physically work my brain or physically work my body. And then I go to the things that I can kind of like coast on, right? So yes, be decisive, knock out those things. As soon as you know something needs to get done, you knock that joint out immediately. 3, don't look back. Great leaders don't lead from nostalgia. They set their eyes forward and keep moving. Dwelling on what's behind weakens progress. And this is something that I learned in my first program when I was starting to become a multi-unit leader. And when I was being a multi-unit leader, I learned that a lot of times leaders like to tell war stories. Oh, back when I was a sales rep, I was doing this, I was doing that. None of that matters. Nothing matters about what you did prior. All that matters is what you're doing moving forward. So don't get stuck on what you did. And I always say this too as well. It's not about what you did for me. It's always about what you did for me lately. You got to keep that in mind when you're thinking about stuff. Right now with the Eagles literally won a Super Bowl, but Jalen Hurts has 2 bad games. Everybody is giving them, a hard time. The same thing with this. My stores can perform amazing all year. 1 month they do bad, and now I'm like the worst leader ever. Always don't focus on nostalgia. You can look at the results at the end of the day and reflect on them, but just quickly move on from them and just continue to just keep pushing forward and driving forward. 4, environment shapes destiny. Sodom was doomed. Sometimes leaders must move their teams out of toxic cultural environments to preserve growth. I had a team member who was stuck into this real like mindset of literally like he just did terrible, right? Because it was his connection with the leader. I move him out of there. At first he had a big drop, but then you started to see him kind of progress. He started to learn how to pitch different things, how to bundle different things in, because he was able to get out of a toxic environment, right? Sometimes you got to play chess with your team members, move them around like pieces. They can't be in places that's going to be detrimental to their growth. 5, family and followers depend on you. See, Lot's family was saved largely because of his relationship with angels. A leader's decisions affects the entire group. The decision I make to do, that I decide to make, the decision that I decide to do affects my team. Now my team, they may feel like if I say, yo, we're really going to pitch AIA, like this is how we're going to pitch AIA. If I decide not to bring up AIA at all, my team is going to suck at AIA. But if I continue to keep driving, like I can only control the controllables. I can't control being in all the places at once. I could try as much as I can. Yo, call me every single time. Yo, if you don't call me every single time, it's going to be a problem. I got to write you up. I got to document. I got to control the controllables, right? So it's the same thing with my team. Like whatever I decide is going to affect my team. And 6, scarcity thinking breeds dysfunction. See, Lot's daughters acted out of fear that there were no options left. Remember, after the cities were destroyed, they thought nobody was there. So leaders must lead from vision and abundance, not fear and lack. You shouldn't be running away from something. You should be running towards something, if that makes sense, right? Like, I don't want you to be like, you don't want to go chase your goals in a fear of going back to the way that you were before, struggling the way you were before. You just want to do it because you want so much more prosperity and so much more freedom. That's how I made my goals. I literally sat down and wrote out my life, how I want to see my life. And when it's all said and done, I want to own parts of different things. So I don't want to tell too much of my goals because I don't want to spoil them. That's between me and God. But I really wrote them out. And then after that, now it's just strictly just focusing on getting to those goals, not me getting away from the fact that I was homeless before and not trying to go back to that. You see what I'm saying? So yes, don't work out of fear or lack of, go towards growth and abundance. So those are the 6 leadership lessons taken away from Genesis 19, I believe I said, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I got all these notes right here from it. Yes, Genesis 19. I want you to comment below which leadership takeaway was your favorite one. Comment that below, right? But with all that being said, it's all said and done now. I want you guys to click the subscribe button again to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Keep killing the day. Remember, winners win, losers lose, and you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.